Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Frazier. We're going to be tracking a whole lot of storms across the area tonight. Luckily, most of these storms are not severe, with the exception of one. So let's jump right into it. A lot of the Permian Basin, Midland, Odessa, Big Spring, lots of cloud cover and high humidity. It feels like it really wants to rain. But is it? Unfortunately, it's not pointing in a positive direction on that. We're just going to be dealing with a lot of cloud cover and some slightly cooler temperatures, situated right now at about 7:05 at 82 degrees. Feels just a touch warmer because while you have a bit of a breeze, it's kind of that warm and soupy breeze. It's like, you know, someone's like breathing hot air on you. You go, yeah, it's not the most pleasant feeling in the world. Here we go, your weather warnings. We're keeping an eye on our westernmost counties. That's where we do have all that pink. That's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. And in the yellow, we have the tornado watch heading up towards Seminole and even toward Hobbs. That is also in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. Most of everything is at play for any kind of severe storms, hail, wind, and even the chance for that isolated tornado. So let's jump into radar, see what there is to see. Not a whole lot, actually. So I was mainly focused out toward Fort Stockton earlier today. Most of those storms have just kind of fizzled out, but I am seeing right along that I-10 and I-20 split, a couple of storms popping up, moving their way into Pecos. Pecos right now seeing a bit of that mix from light to moderate shower activity and maybe even a strike of lightning or two, but overall nothing too crazy. You go farther and farther north, follow along that line of storms, and we get one severe warned storm near Lovington. This one storm has been really moving very quickly far to the north, just moving slightly outside of our region, but they're still seeing a lot of that very large-sized hail. Latest reading from it is going to be tennis ball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it's a fast-moving storm, it's got fast-moving winds, and you have some large-sized hail on top of those fast winds. So make sure if you are in this watch box, or you are in that warning box, excuse me, you are taking cover immediately. You are staying away from any kind of windows, and if you are in a car, make sure you stop, you pull over, and if you're caught in a hailstorm, don't get out of the car, but try to cover yourself up, maybe duck down away from the windows of the car just in case anything tries to break on you. Now, the main reason why we're seeing a big outbreak of severe storms once again is because the Storm Prediction Center went ahead and was a little late to the game and decided to put us under a level 2 slight risk by this afternoon, and then bumped up much of Amarillo and Lubbock up to that level 3 enhanced risk. They're looking at a large-scale tornado outbreak. A number of storm chasers, number of tornado warnings have already been out there, already been in effect. Luckily, it's staying outside of our region, so we don't have to worry too much about that large-scale tornado threat. We still have to worry about that hail and that wind threat. Certainly something that we just don't take lightly because, hey, we get a lot of wind, we get a lot of hail, we get the tornadoes occasionally. We want to make sure that everyone out there is staying safe. Overnight tonight, kind of similar to the last couple of nights. Mostly cloudy skies, 65 degrees. Compared with our average low, about 55, this is almost a given. You got a lot of cloud cover, you got high humidity, you got a bit of that flow from the southeast, and I do have a 10% chance of rain. And all that is basically anything left over. We might see a little leftover storm here and there, but mainly after sunset, most of this stuff should be moving out of the area. Come Saturday, how about maybe check up on those grilling skills? Gonna be a lot of cloud cover. Yikes, what's going on here? Well, mainly that cloud cover itself is actually just going to be staying well, in our region, on top of us. Could we see some of those rain chances? Sure. I don't have a high probability though, but let me show you what I'm going to break down on terms of that model data. Let's move past tonight because most of tonight this stuff is going to be pushing its way out of our area up to the north, and then the stuff near Fort Stockton, if it tries, it might make its way down to Mexico, northern Mexico, maybe even Del Rio, but it's not going to make a whole lot of progress and a whole lot of impacts locally. Starting off tomorrow morning, notice one thing a little bit odd. You see a little bit of that green just in our northern counties. It might be associated with a strong thunderstorm just to our north. It will have more than likely an outflow boundary. That outflow boundary, that pushing wind that's full of a lot of moisture, Well, that could spark the creation of a couple isolated showers and thunderstorms into the northern parts of the Permian Basin, likely north of Interstate 20 by around the early part of the morning into the early afternoon. It's unlikely to be severe because you need a lot of heat in the atmosphere to get that severe potential, and I'm just not seeing that large-scale severe potential. But by the afternoon, it looks like maybe not even the Stockton Plateau, but just out into southeastern New Mexico might spark one little cell, one little squall line trying to push its way into Ector County and maybe even southern Midland County before it starts to fall apart around Upton County and then completely apart in Crockett County. All right, but then your Sunday comes along. Well, take it nice and easy on your Sunday. I think that's all we can appreciate. Well, we start off your Sunday, a lot of cloud cover, more humidity. That's going to be the trend for the next couple of days. Pushing our way into Sunday afternoon. All right, these storms look to begin popping up maybe a little bit farther to the east, but you can see that dry line. That dry line is right down the middle, right along the Stockton Plateau, that New Mexico and Texas Panhandle border as well. We'll see. We'll see. It's all a big waiting game, and I hate to tell you guys that because it doesn't get you a direct answer. It doesn't tell you where is this storm going to be, when it's going to be, how strong it's going to be. Believe me, I'm in the same boat because everything keeps changing on a daily basis, and a lot of this stuff is going to be so small on the models. Models aren't good at very small scale individual little storms. They're good at very large scale. Look, here's a cold front. You're going to get some rain. I guarantee it. This time, it's not the case. And that makes forecasting just a little bit more tough. All right, let's look at that severe risk. Take this with a grain of salt too, because our severe risks have been going underestimating lately. So for tomorrow, level 1 marginal risk. That's in effect for the northern basin and even northern Lee County as we head into Sunday. A little bit more of a widespread marginal risk, but here's the thing. I typically am not going to be going a weather impact alert day for a level 1 risk just because the likelihood of widespread severe storms and numerous damage reports is very, very low. Level 2 risks, that tends to be more along the case. But so far, the last 2 days, they've put just a level 1 risk over our region, and it was upgraded to level 2 the day of. So I wouldn't say, hey, just wait and see. If you have any kind of weekend plans, maybe have an indoor plan as a backup. All right, before we wrap things up here, let's go ahead and check out the latest on some of those severe storms popping up across the area. Not a whole lot of activity around Pecos other than those nearby storms, maybe a nearby lightning strike going up into New Mexico. Still that severe warned storm until 6:45 Mountain Time. I mean 7:45 Central Time for you guys in Central Zone. Latest reading from the National Weather Service, see if they decided to upgrade the storm at all anymore. We are looking at 2-inch diameter hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So yeah, still very large hail, and it's actually not even radar indicated. It's actually storm chasers, trains, weather spotters have spotted that 2-inch diameter hail and those strong winds. So it's going to stay in effect for the region. We're going to be keeping our eye on that just in case anything else decides to pop up. But in the meantime, can we expect more of those rain chances? Well, as we push our way a little bit farther and farther toward the end of our weekend, a lot of that rain chance goes away. Sunday starts to warm back up, and then by Monday, looks to be relatively nice, back with those 90s. Tuesday, we got a small front coming through. Rain chances might be